I think we can both be grateful to each other. Girl, you gotta, yes. Consa who? Consa where? Consumption? No, I haven't done anything. How about that? Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Comfort. Thank you so much for being with me today. I really do appreciate you. And we are back again with another recap of Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story, y'all. Episode 2, oh my God, left us hanging again, but we're getting closer to knowing what the issue is with the king. We have some action, we had some movement after much frustration with the king. Okay, so we're gonna get right into it. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more recaps and reactions. Also hit the post notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a video, and like this video if you enjoy content like this. We start off episode 2 with Charlotte basically prepping for her day, and she wants her diary of things to do. Basically whatever her queenly duties will be, she wants to know. And her assistant Brimsley lets her know that, well, he could give it to her, but there's nothing in it right now because she's supposed to be on her honeymoon, even though she's not really on her honeymoon because her husband, the king, is in an entirely different house. So they don't have anything for her to do at the moment. So then we pan to the mother of the king and her advisors, her people, and they're basically discussing whether or not the marriage has been consummated, whether or not they will have an heir to the throne, because that is the most important thing. That yes, this interracial thing is an experiment, but the experiment is only useful if it's able to produce them heir. And if it's not consummated, that there will be questions as to what is going on and what may be wrong with the king. The mother kind of beats around the bush and says, no, there's nothing wrong with him. He's just an independent thinker. That's really, yes, an independent thinker. Yes, yes, yes. They all agree that he's an independent thinker, when clearly they know there's some type of issue happening, and that it's so different now, it's so modern now, that back in her day, there were 7 people in the room to witness if their marriage was consummated or not, to confirm. But now it's so much privacy, and everybody wants privacy, and that there's no way to confirm if it's been consummated or not. That's 7 people, girl. Ew. So then we kind of get a montage of Charlotte going through her days, lonely, angry, by herself, waking up, getting dressed, having breakfast alone when she's meant to be married, newly married, and have her king with her, have her partner with her, and he is nowhere to be found, and she's alone. So Charlotte decides to start reading to occupy her time, and she tries to run away from Brimsley. And it's obviously so ridiculous. Like, why have you had this girl come all the way over here to marry you? And he was so charming. The shit just turned, like, went so sour, like, so quickly. How many minutes were you married before the shit went sour? Like, what? Poor Charlotte, child. So then we pan to older Queen Charlotte, and she is checking on the status of this royal baby that she's expecting. And one of her children, one of her sons, says that he wants to marry, and Queen Charlotte's like, absolutely not. The person that you want to marry is a no. It's a no-go. Ain't gonna happen. One of the other sons is in love with a married woman, and another one's wife left him 20 years ago, and nobody knows where she is. So basically, it's still in the air. There's still no ETA on this royal baby. So then we pan back to young Charlotte, y'all. And young Charlotte has had enough. Sis has had enough of the shenanigans, of being alone, coping with whatever the hell she's coping with. She orders Brimsley to take her to the king. Saddle me the hell up and take me to my damn husband, because this is not what I signed up for. This is not what my brother signed me up for either, okay? So as they arrive, apparently Brimsley and King George's assistant have a thing. They have their moment, their time with each other, right? And as they have their time with each other, Brimsley's trying to find out from him what is wrong with the king. Why? I guess this has been an issue in the past. And he's like, I don't know, I know nothing. The king is perfect. The king is fine. I don't know what you're talking about, right? It's while they're in the bed together and rolling around, but also trying to ask questions as, I don't know, a form of their own excitement, or if they're seriously trying to get answers. So Charlotte finds King George in the observatory looking at stars, and Charlotte is pissed that I am alone in the palace on our honeymoon and you're over here looking at stars. You would rather look into space than to be with me, your wife. What the hell is actually going on, and why is it happening? And how did we get here? Why did you bring me here? Charlotte says that she's 17 in a strange land. He's the only person that she really has had any type of connection with, and that he has completely abandoned her to come here and look at the sky. She doesn't understand, like, what the hell is going on. And he still gives that terrified ass look and does not say anything relevant or anything helpful, anything comforting, anything warm. And she gets pissed and then goes home. So then the mother and the palace people, I don't know if it's the mother, I can't recall if the mother's there, but definitely the advisors ask the assistants if the couple is getting along well and if they've consummated, and they basically lie and say, oh, they're smitten, and we're pretty sure that they have consummated, and when they absolutely have not. It's still in the air. The still is not cracked, it's still dry. So then we are again attacked with Lady Danbury being pounced on by her disgusting husband. Like, yuck, filth, again. He basically says that his title is a way to show that racism is over with, essentially, which, no, to this day, no, sorry. So then Brimsley orders the King's Guard, which I didn't get his name. I don't recall what they called him in so far. But Brimsley orders the King's Guard to suggest a gift from the king to Charlotte. And the gift that is suggested or that is given to Charlotte is a little puppy. And the puppy is delivered at the breakfast table or dinner table. And instead of the king being there, that's the gift that they get. And she's pissed and not impressed, but takes the damn puppy. Goes on about her business. So Charlotte decides that she wants to meet with her good sis, Lady Danbury, right? Lady Danbury had said that be very careful, let me know if you need me, and Charlotte's like, girl, I need you. So Brimsley helps Lady Danbury be discreet and discreetly enter into Queen Charlotte's room to have a conversation with her. Lady Danbury asks Charlotte about the honeymoon, and Charlotte says it's great and basically lies, and Lady Danbury says, I can tell that you're lying. Like, you're not lying very well. Clearly something is abreast. What is going on? So then Lady Danbury asks Charlotte if she has consummated the marriage. Like, that is the important thing. And Charlotte says she don't know what she's talking about. Consa who? Consa where? Consumption? No, I haven't done anything. So Lady Danbury explains intercourse to Charlotte, and Charlotte's like, oh, I think she even draws her pictures as to the goings on in the bedroom. Lady Danbury says that if you do not consummate, your position is not secure until you are able to produce an heir. Like, you're still in the air. You're not officially the queen if you don't consummate with the king and become his wife. That is how you become his wife. The Queen, Charlotte, says, you know what, we haven't consummated. Maybe it's for the best so I can go home and get the hell out of here. Lady Danbury's like, girl, no, don't give up. Relax. Just breathe. Hold on. So then we pan to older Charlotte, older Lady Danbury, and they meet with another royal whose children are married and have produced her grandchildren and heirs, right? So basically Queen Charlotte is trying to find out from this woman, how has she gotten her children to want to get married in order to produce an heir? And the lady is like, what are you talking about? And she's like, girl, how are you doing it? Because no bueno over here. And she says, well, them being in love or falling in love helps. And Charlotte is like, girl, huh? They love a lot of people and it ain't the right people. And Lady Danbury says that marriage is a duty. We know, you know, and it is not about love. And Queen Charlotte says, you know what, that she's just gonna find them somebody that they can fall in love with and marry so that they can produce an heir to this throne so it doesn't die with the king. Y'all, so then we get back to young Charlotte, and King George asked Brimsley why he allowed Lady Danbury in to see Charlotte, that the word could get out that Charlotte is not on honeymoon and has not consummated this marriage yet, and that could be very, very bad for the palace. And Brimsley says, well, this wouldn't be happening if you knew what was wrong with your damn king. What is wrong with the king? That he hasn't consummated the marriage. She has to pretend that she's on a honeymoon instead of really being on one and consummating with her husband. So then we get to Lady Danbury and Lord Danbury in their home, and apparently Lady Danbury gets requested to see. So the king's mother asked Lady Danbury to tell her what she discussed with Charlotte and what their conversation was about, because she knows that she saw her early. So Lady Danbury is basically vague and makes up something and sips her tea. So the mother gets upset and does that thing that the Euros do and called her girl and said, girl, listen, right? And Lady Danbury is like, girl, don't forget that it's Lady Danbury. You gave me the title. Respect it. Okay? Thanks, pumpkin. So then the mother excuses everyone so she can speak to Lady Danbury private, right? And she has some aggression behind that private. So Lady Danbury says that she thought she was quiet, but she didn't know that she talked this much or she had this much too. But that she just needs to know what's going on in the palace. She needs to know if the marriage has been consummated. So Lady Danbury says that it seems like you're sending me on a mission and on a task and you need something from me. And girl, I don't work for free. I'm gonna need something from you. This title is supposed to come with some land. It's supposed to come with some acres. It's supposed to come with some wealth. And so the mother says, oh, you just want money. And Lady Danbury says, point of correction, girl. Nobody needs your money. The reason that your husband knew my father is because my father was a king in Sierra Leone, Africa, and we didn't need your money. We had plenty. We had everything. But then when y'all begin to do your thing that you do, pillage and take over and colonize, that's how we ended up in this conundrum. So don't ever get it twisted. We had more money and more resources than y'all. But y'all know how y'all do. Y'all like to steal stuff. So respect yourself. They have money, but that she wants equal treatment for her husband. She wants him to be invited to everything else that the other lords are being invited to. She wants him to have the other benefits and the other assets of being a lord that the other people do that are not of their same complexion. And once you do that, then maybe I'll help you. The mother says that she needs to be grateful that she has any title at all. And she says, well, girl, you want something from me, so I think we can both be grateful to each other. How about that? Girl, you better. Yes. Because what did you think this was? That was so, Shonda, girl, yes, we see each other. Because yes, like tried it. Girl, you have your audacity, please. So then we pan back to young Charlotte, and Charlotte is getting dressed to do her another routine of her day. She thinks moving through the day, being alone, y'all. So she gets dressed and she goes to the breakfast table. But behind the puppy or whatever, the flowers, guess who she sees? King George. So King George has finally come to his senses to come and to see Charlotte. And he says he wants to apologize to her for how he's treated her and what he's done. And that he wants to bring her to understand where he's been and what he's doing the past few days. So he basically shows her the planet Venus. And he shows her that, you know, this is a rare time when you're able to see it, and that that's what he's been doing, that he loves space. It keeps him humble because he's the grand master over everything, but in space, he's small. He's just a small piece of everything, just like everybody else. But he apologizes to her for all that he's put her through, and they share a passionate, you know how they be doing. So she says, well, okay, but does this mean that you're coming back home with me to Buckingham Palace? And he says, yes, I'm coming home with you to Buckingham Palace. So then it's like, oh, man, so cute, right? Child, they pack their stuff up and they head to Buckingham Palace. They get to Buckingham Palace, y'all, and they have their time together. He lets Charlotte know that they can't travel together because it's a point of succession for the throne. There's the possibility that you could be carrying the heir to the throne. And she says, well, there's not a possibility of that now. And he says, well, people don't know that. We're supposed to be on a honeymoon. And after tonight, there will be a possibility of that. She's like, let the man be with a good time. So y'all, they get in the bedroom. She has on her first time negligee. She has on her outfit, make sweet love, even though I think it is her first time, which, I mean, it was just so unrealistic, but whatever, right? It had to be beautiful and all the things. Very just butt cheeks everywhere. They consummate passionately. They both look like they're so happy and so in love. And it looks like warm, and it's like, yes, a win, right? A victory. Yay. No. While they're doing this, by the way, the assistants are off having their own rendezvous. Like, they just can't help themselves because what? Like, aren't you supposed to be watching something or guarding something? I don't know. So then the morning after the consummation, we pan to Lady Danbury and Lord Danbury arriving at the home that Lady Danbury has negotiated for them, and the land and the stuff, all of the things that she negotiated that they deserve with their titles. And Lord Danbury is like, do you know how this happened? What is going on? And Lady Danbury is about to try to explain. Lord Danbury says, oh, it's because the king sees me. It's because the king sees that I am just a man. A man is just a man, regardless of his race, regardless of his complexion or where he's from. He thinks that they've had a change of heart as far as racism. He doesn't realize that his beautiful, intelligent wife has negotiated this for them, and then shuts her down when she tries to say something else. Like, sir, go ahead, go into the house, shut. So then we get back to Charlotte, and Charlotte is dressed and she wants to come have breakfast with the king. after their first night. So Brimsley says that, well, the king is unavailable right now because he has a visitor. And so Charlotte goes and she overhears his mother talking to the king about what is the status of everything. Like, I'm sick and tired of waiting. Have y'all consummated this marriage? This is important. Did you do what it is that you needed to do? And the king basically says that he did all of his royal duties. He makes it seem as if he was just ordered to do this, not necessarily out of his own want for it, right? He was ordered to marry her, ordered to be charming, to get her back, ordered to guard all the secrets, so that he had to stay. So I guess it was the mother's idea that he stay in completely separate places to protect the secrets of the kingdom. And he was ordered to bed her, he was ordered to consummate, and he's done that now. His royal responsibility and the throne has been a knife in his body, and that for his entire life he has been prepped and prodded and poked and groomed into being the king. So she doesn't need to remind him of that he is the king already. It lives within him. I was like, damn. But I was so sad for Charlotte because the way he said it was like he was forced to do all of these things that he didn't want to do. And so it's like, so was any of that real? So you weren't charmed by her? You were like, she was on cloud nine, and then he just brought her right back down to zero. Like, poor girl. It was just horrible. So she goes on and says, I'm just gonna have breakfast. There's no need to wait for the king. And then we flash to older Charlotte, who is still at the table with no king. It is so sad. Like, so then we pan back to King George, and he basically collapses into his chair and starts shaking profusely, like shaking, hyperventilating, and doesn't want to call the doctor, but then tells his assistant to go ahead and call the doctor. And he says, Charlotte, and the assistant says she will never know of this. What this is, we don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Now, obviously, y'all, walk me slow, okay? Because, you know, I have not finished it. So I don't know what's going on. I have an idea. I think it's some type of mental illness, something somewhere that's going on. But we are going to continue watching. I'm going to keep recapping. Please do stay with me, y'all. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are on what the king's condition is if you haven't already seen it. What do you think he meant by saying what he said? Do you think he was just going at his mother for how she's coming at him about the throne? Or do you think he really did those things only out of obligation? Like, he only pursued Charlotte that way out of obligation. He only consummated with her out of obligation and not because he really wanted to or was really smitten by her. Like, that is devastating. Oh my God. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead and leave your comments below. Hit the post notification bell so you'll be notified when I post another video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.